Hello everyone at Luke Rides. Luke Rides is back with another episode for you at the channel. Hasn't it been a long time since Luke Rides has made any videos of anything recent really? But we're going to spend some time on the ZX10 SuperBike, the Exotica.
Holy shit!
The sensual ZX10. And what you're going to learn here today is how do you actually remove the brake discs from the supersonic Kawasaki ZX10 SuperBike 2015 fourth generation, and it is actually quite interesting. There's a fair bit involved, and you're going to learn that here today. So let's hit the intro and get cracking. Yeah. Whack.
It's showtime!
For the top bolt, I'm going to use an extension on the 6mm. That was tight. When I take the caliper bolts out, these happen to be the same size, but I just like to do top bottom, and then I'll give the caliper a little bit of a wiggle, and then you don't really want it hitting there. So what I'm doing right now is I'm taking the caliper and I'm twisting it towards me, and what's happening there is it's opening up the brake pads, and that's saving me from having to open it up. So you can see I've opened them up a little. This is a tool that I use for opening them up, and it is from a 1968 Jaguar. And you can just pop it in and then twist them, and the pistons go all the way back in. So if you now have a look at your brake reservoir, you should see that the fluid has gone up a bit, yeah?
Correct.
So I'm now going to take the front wheel off the motorcycle. So although you have a spindle going through, this side of the spindle, which undoes, is being held in place by two pinch pins, which are 6mm, and you can see that there's a split right here. So right at the bottom of you've got two pinch pins. They're not particularly tight. If you over tighten them, you can end up getting cracks here and here. So I'm just going to undo them. This is 6mm. They're usually not the most tightest in the world. There you go, that's one starting to undo. Make sure you get it right in, push it right in, and I'm just doing it on a 3/8. And there you go. It should be that easy to undo them. They really aren't that tight. If you over tighten them, you can end up cracking here, and then things get bloody dangerous. And that's it. This side's loosened off nicely. Now there are pinch pins on the other side, and I don't usually undo them. And the reason I don't undo them is because they're holding the other side of the spindle. It's like this part of the spindle is quite long, and then there's a short piece. And if I undo the other side, the short piece gets loose. So as I start to undo this one, that one rotates, and I can't get the spindle out. Okay, so two pinch pins. There's your other side of the spindle, and I'm not going to undo these pinch pins. A lot of people make the mistake of undoing them. What will happen is this part here will rotate, the entire spindle will rotate, and I'll never get it undone. So you don't actually have to undo this side. So I'm removing the pinch pins now. You can see there's a little bit of corrosion on them. You'd be a little bit corroded if this is where you lived on a motorcycle. So again, a little bit of corrosion is to be expected. But one thing you're not seeing and this is by the manufacturer, you're not seeing any lubrication and you're not seeing any Loctite on here. And that is exactly how I'm going to put it back in. I don't see any green, red or blue Loctite, and I definitely don't see any lubrication. So no matter how much you want to do it, do not, because the manufacturer has decided, after their billions and billions of dollars of education. So I'm now going to undo the spindle. So I've loosened off this side of the bike, 22 mil. I'm just going to put my socket in. This is going to be fairly tight.
Impact gun,
We
because
just use an impact gun to undo it. Yeah. You alright with that?
yeah, that's the sort of power we needed.
But it's a very fine thread, so you'll notice that it takes a while to undo.
What does that mean? Fine.
Lots of thread.
Yeah.
There we go. Wow. Spindle. You see there's corrosion on the end of it?
Yeah.
That's probably what was stopping us. And now comes the wheel. On the wheel are what's called spacers. So these here, this is a dust seal, and then there'll be an oil seal, and you can see the bearing behind there. The whole point of this spacer is to fit in. It also aids against dust getting in and stuff like that. But, you know, it's there to just kind of steady things. So they're going to get cleaned up. See, it's a little bit dirty. And there'll be one on the other side. So here's the spacer on the other side. And again, we're going to give that a good clean up. And then you've got a dust seal for the actual wheel bearing. And I've got to say, they're feeling really nice. So I've no interest in messing with them. When we take off this rotor, we've also got to take this ABS ring and refit it to the new rotors. So these are the standard rotors that you get on a ZX10R, and the reason we're swapping them out is because they've just gone out of tolerance. You can tell that because on here it clearly says the minimum width is 5mm. The vernier gauge, I am getting 4mm. So that's why they're being replaced. We're replacing them with these EBC XCs, which are 7mm. And again, their minimum width is 5mm. This bike's done about 9,000 miles approximately, and it's in need of new discs. So I'm going to crack these off. And again, I'm only using the 3/8 extend. Yeah, give me a hand. Cheers. I'm only using the 3/8. If you have to feel the need to use larger tools on these, you're overdoing it slightly, overcompensating. Make sure that you get your Allen head deep in. Your hand is not a hammer. Okay, deep in. Here we go. 3/8. Nice and easy, right? If you've got to use bigger tools, you're overcompensating for something. I'd just like to shout out to Milwaukee for building these awesome tools. Maybe they're not the most powerful, but I do like them. If anyone would like to sponsor me with Snap-on. So, the first thing to notice is that these do not have lubrication on them, but they do have red Loctite as per what Kawasaki would have put on them originally, and I am going to add Loctite 243 once I've cleaned the threads up. You wouldn't want these coming undone under heavy pressure. A lot of Loctite going on there.
A lot from Kawasaki. What? Huh. Well, that's interesting because you've actually got like so that's the face that you see, but then you actually flip the factory Superbike disc over, and then you see the part that is not painted gold. It's flat. It's a flat metal surface. Well, it must be for the hub. Oh, look at that.
It's always a good time to clean your alloys at this point, if that's what you want to do.
Yeah.
Now you've got access to it.
Apart from random Google photos of angels and then maybe just cried.
Phoning up the manufacturers. Oh, there's some tears of angels. I want to spray on my wheels.
And there'll be certain looks in the.
But you can see just with a microfiber and some tears of angels, all of a sudden this alloy is looking really nice. And I'm picking up all of the crud and it's leaving a really nice finish.
So thanks for watching this video, guys. The great hope you enjoyed that one. It is so beautiful and so spot on, so perfect how Kawasaki have built the ZX10 Superbike, and really nice to work on. You know, not even the bolts tried to cross thread. You know, absolute pinnacle of Kawasaki, their fastest, most beautiful, most exotic, most stunning motorcycle that's capable of well over 200 miles an hour.
Let's punch it.
And it's limited to 186, but if you remove the speed limiter, oh wow, it's a very frightening superbike, and it is. You're holding on to the handlebars for dear life. Luke Rice has missed his ZX10 so much. Just riding a motorcycle, just feeling the road, just being on two wheels. It doesn't have to be a superbike. It can be a sport tourer. It can be a naked or super naked. It can be so many different motorcycles, but that was quite interesting. So you've learned here today how to remove the brake discs, or rotors, and some reason some countries they're called rotors, the brake discs, but on a motorcycle sometimes they call it rotors. And they cry, it's amazing. Yeah, Dee's baby, this amazing queen, it's goddess. Look at that, we've got the Union flag and everything, yeah. That's true love, that is. Luke Rise need to come home, Sunny Palm Airport. Luke Rise is still healing. And it's ongoing when, well, you know, when you can't even take the weight of a 600. You know, you can't even take the weight of a not a baby motorcycle, but a, you know, middle ground motorcycle, but you just got to stay strong. And sorry about the audio problems for this video. Luke Wright doesn't understand what happens to the audio when he made that workshop video for the channel. Don't know why, but it's important that you see the process of what happens and going step by step and being taught that there are mistakes that you can, or problems you can create for yourself. But if you know what those problems are and how not to do them, then you save yourself a lot of trouble, a lot of hassle. So Luke Wright is doing his intro.
Dear God, it's beautiful.
Here. He's like, yeah, you can't stop YouTube, governor. So we'll move on to the next video. And it's good that we're breaking this down for the brake discs, rotors, for the ZX10 SuperBike. Superbike! This is yeah.
The way we...
The little rascal has spirit. As water.
This is the end of the trail for me.
Thank you.
Thank you, kid.
That is the most beautiful thing I have ever seen.